G'day guys, welcome to Out Roving. In today's video I'm going to be fabricating a welding trolley from scratch. For the build I don't have any set plans. One thing I want to incorporate is to have a platform for my welding toolbox, just so I have everything in one spot. Just like every project, it starts with a supply run. My goal is to keep costs as low as possible and reuse any materials I have lying around from previous projects. So now I have everything I need. The first thing I'm going to do is take measurements. Now I've got a rough idea of the dimensions, I'm going to start getting the steel ready. I'll be using a drop saw to cut the SHS. It's a lot quicker than using an angle grinder and you can get more accurate cuts. With all my sections cut to length, I'm going to grind the edges back and the corners, preparing the surfaces for some welding. I won't be showing you every cut and grind because it's quite repetitive. After some time, I've got all the steel I'm using cut and ready to go. Next, I'm going to start tacking everything together. I'll be using the floor with the help of woodworking clamps to try and keep everything in place. One thing to note is when you start welding, it does tend to warp a little bit and put things out of shape. It does happen to me a little bit later, but not enough that it's going to make a huge difference. Be careful if you're welding galvanized steel. Try and get as much of the galvanized coating off and make sure you wear a mask underneath your welding mask to filter the fumes. Now the lower platform's done, I'm going to start tacking the upper platform together. This one I'm going to fully weld afterwards, grind the surfaces back so it's ready to be welded with the rest of the frame. The next step now is tacking the upper and lower platform together. This is going to produce the main body of the frame. With it all tacked together now, I can go ahead and weld all the joints fully. I won't be showing you every weld because it's quite repetitive. Afterwards, I'm going to give it a clean up with a wire wheel to get the splatter off. Moving on, it's time to cut the bases for the platforms. I'll be using MDF because it's cheap and easy to work with. I did think about using steel sheet, but it is a little bit more expensive. After the bases have been cut out, I need to weld the supports in. I want them to sit nice and flush with the platform, so I'm going to use some angle to hold the bases in place while I position and weld the supports. I also need to get the gas bottle fixture ready. This is going to be MDF with a diameter of the gas bottle cut out, so it can slot in upright, nice and tight. This way I won't be using any chains or straps to hold the bottle in place at the back. The next thing are the mounting plates for the caster wheels. The reason I'm not welding the wheels directly on is in case later down the track I want to replace or upgrade, it'll be a lot easier to do. You can notice that the weld quality is getting worse and worse. It is getting closer to the end of the day and I'm eager to get it all done. To mount the wheels on the plate, I'm going to tap the holes, where I'll use M6 bolts to hold them in place. The final bit of welding that I have to do are for the hooks that are going to go onto the side, and these are for my MIG leads. With everything together now, I'm pretty happy with how it's all coming along. It's going to look great with some paint. But before any paint, I'm going to give it a quick wipe to get any grease or dirt off. Now it's time for some paint. I'm going to paint the bases black. I'm not going to worry about the bottom, just the top. For the actual frame itself, after some primer, I'm going to go with a yellow. I use Dry Mark Metal Pro for most of my project. It's a really good quality paint, leaves a great finish, and it's a reasonable price. With everything painted and cured now, I can move on to assembling it all together. The first thing I'm going to do is get the caster wheels back on so it's on the floor and rolling. The second thing is putting the bases back in position. These aren't screwed in or anything, they're just simply recessed in. The only exception is for the fixture for the gas bottle, because this is something I don't want to move and I'll be using tech or self-tapping screws. That's everything all together now. I'm stoked with how it's come out. It's super easy to maneuver around and I couldn't have asked for a better result. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you got some ideas for your own welding trolley and enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.